Hi, this is Tara. Welcome to Sky Gazing. Today, let's study Sutra number 36. What does it say? Viśokā va jyotiśmatī. Viśokā is free from sorrow. Va or jyotiśmatī. Jyotis is light. Mati is opinion or notion. Like we kind of say in Hindi, anumati, agreement. So to have the opinion of mind. But together, jyotiśmatī means the luminosity of the mind. So Maharishi Ved Vyasa explains, this is 36 Sutra, that this is the consciousness of thought forms, which comes to him who concentrates upon the lotus of the heart. The essence of the will to know is shining in substance. It acts like the akasha. By diligent perseverance in that, the higher activity appears. And so it's Maharishi Ved Vyasa in his, ornate style. But what is he actually saying? He's saying a sense activity, when arises, brings the mind to the relation of stability. Now, this is linked to the 35th Sutra. Now, this is the consciousness of the mind fixing its attention upon the lotus of the heart. And then the lotus of the heart, which is the seat of luminosity, is the seat of the soul. And then the sattva of the mind becomes radiant. And the skill in keeping this mind stable it makes the mind radiant like the sun, the moon, planets, or gems. It becomes pacified. It becomes waveless like a deep ocean, peaceful, infinite, and not inside. Okay. So hence this undistressed activity has two parts. One is that it connects to the object, and second is the self-consciousness and the feeling of emptiness inside, which is luminosity. By this, the mind is concentrated. So this has to be read in connection with Sutra number 35. Okay. Now, Swami Satyananda, how does he explain it? On the luminous state, which is beyond sorrow, one can control the mind. So the mind can be made steady and controlled by manifesting this very serene luminosity within. And how do you do this? You do this by concentrating on nada or bhrumadhya, that is the center of the eyebrows. And the inner illumination is very serene, it's very calm, it's very peaceful. It is not a bright illumination. It's not like light being cast on you. It can be experienced when in deep meditation. It is of two types. In sleep, suddenly you might find a sudden explosion of light, which is very disturbing. And Patanjali is not talking about that. He's talking about very gentle, very calm tranquility. Okay, a serene light, which you will experience in the process of meditation. And one of them is by concentrating on the center of the eyebrows, and others by concentrating on nada, that is sound. Swami Vivekananda says, or by the meditation on the effulgent one, which is beyond all sorrow. So basically, what is the sutra explaining? It's giving you another option on of how to attain the concentration of the mind. That is what we have been studying all these times, all these previous sutras. The first set was Ishvara Pranidhana, surrender. If you are not able to do that, then focus on the pranava. If you're not able to focus on the pranava, then you can concentrate on different forms, japa, meditation, sense objects, and now it is on the luminosity, the light. Okay, so he says this is another sort of concentration. Think of the lotus of the heart with petals downwards and running through it the sushumna nadi, which we studied yesterday. Do also check that I have a short that explains prana, which explains the kinds of pranas, major pranas, minor pranas, and the role of the nadis in that. So in that is sushumna. So running through it is the sushumna. Take the in-breath, and while exhaling the out-breath, imagine the lotus is turned with the petals upwards, and inside the lotus is an effulgent light. And Swami Vivekananda says, meditate on that. Beautiful meditation. Do try it. If any of you have tried it, please Tell me what your experience is. Leave it in the comments below. BKS Iyengar says, all inner stability is gained by contemplating a luminous, sorrowless, and effulgent light. So here the concentration is on the innermost core of the heart. And it is, what he says is, that is the only place you will find the sorrowless, effulgent light. It glows. Why? Because it is the seat of the soul. And the mind is guided in such a way as that it becomes engrossed and penetrates towards its source. So movements in the form of thoughts in the mind are in waves, and chitta, or the seat of consciousness, is the ocean. So the sadhaka must learn to keep the chitta motionless and thoughtfully silent without creating waves of thought. So basically, chitta is like an ocean, the thoughts are the waves. Your job, our job, is to keep that ocean still without allowing the waves of thought to arise. Any of us who have sat in even a minute of meditation know how difficult it is. It sounds very easy to say, but basically, because thoughts keep arising, right? They feel involuntary. But what all the masters are teaching us is that we can still this ocean of the mind. This effort of stilling and silencing the chitta brings forth the sorrowless, effulgent light of the soul. So Osho says, also meditate on the inner light, which is serene beyond all sorrow. And this can only be done when you've attained a certain quality of perceptivity. Then you can close your eyes and you can find a flame, a beautiful flame near the heart, a gentle blue light. But right now, you and I cannot see it. It is there, it has always been there. And others will not be able to see it. It's not like somebody's going to look at you and see this flame in your heart. But he says, when you have developed this kind of perception, then you are able to see this luminosity. And then what also happens is you are able to see the world through this luminosity. There is some clarity that comes to the mind, to the soul, to the perception. Okay, so he says nothing is more blissful than that. And this is what we aim to achieve. This is when the mind becomes concentrated. Barbara Stoller Miller says, or when the thought is luminous, free from sorrow. So she says, thought becomes luminous when it is freed from sorrow and passion. Sorrow and passion are conceived of as dark and heavy. I hope this was useful to you. Please do comment, like, share, subscribe, and come back tomorrow for Sutra number 37.